Hi, my name is Gabriel Molnar, and I will be doing my presentation on the dinner party for Humanities 151-L3. The dinner party, that's very iconic work by Judy Chicago. It's not a painting; it's more of a general art piece. Consists of a triangle with several dinner places and tile work in the middle with 999 names on it. And approximately 32 different dinner settings on the perimeter of the triangle. Each different table set represents a different woman, um, while all of the tiles have the names of several women that have been both acknowledged and unrepresented alike. I believe that this piece is an effort to put these women uh, in the spotlight that they were never able to get while they were performing their accomplishments. They were never acknowledged and represented for what they did, and this is sort of an homage to that. I have found a song. It's called Number One Must Have by Sleater Kinney. I believe it ties into this. I believe it ties in very well to this piece specifically, just in its nature, and I can play some of it for you very quickly. It can be quite difficult to understand the words at times, but essentially, how I interpreted the song was essentially fighting back against misrepresentation, especially in regards to not necessarily capitalism, but more like what they're shown as almost merchandise by like these corporate entities, and they're being misrepresented and not represented to how they should be. I believe it ties in very well in that theme of representation. Uh, I also believe it it's similar to like pushing it back against that societal uh, the societal norms, uh, being skinny and being very attractive. It's just part of that culture, and I believe that this song specifically is fighting back against that, which you could also tie into the dinner party. Um, Next is a magazine cover from the edition of Elle for November 3rd. This specific edition features Kamala Harris on the cover. Uh, Kamala Harris is a very prominent figure. Uh, she was district attorney for her district for a long time, or attorney general for her state, and now senator, and now vice president of the United States. She has had many accomplishments, and she's done many things over her career, um, especially as a woman and a person of color, which she could be seen as disadvantaged for that. Um, the important thing is her acknowledgement, her being acknowledged for these accomplishments. Very important because that acknowledgement, that being recognized for their accomplishments specifically, is a big tie-in between these two, the dinner party and this specific magazine cover. Uh, these two tie in, I believe, very well in the regards to uh, being represented, representation, recognition. Um, this next part is a painting called The Red Kana. It was made by Georgia O'Keeffe in 1927. I use this as more of a connection between Georgia and the dinner party piece, simply because she was featured in the piece. in the dinner party. Not this work of art, but her specifically was featured. Um, this uh, this specific painting, it's of a red flower, which is indicative of her as a painter, because her um, as a painter, she brought a lot of sensuality and femininity to many things, to her painting, which wasn't very common at the time. Even the color red, uh, it's very common, like as a sensual color, uh, used commonly as. Um, Georgia specifically, uh, she did not cooperate with many all-female pieces of art, all-female paintings, and specifically the feminist movement. She didn't participate a lot due to her status as an artist. She believed that she was just an artist instead of a female artist. Uh, she didn't want to be uh, she didn't want to be contained to the role of being a female artist. She just wanted to be able to cooperate with anyone and be recognized as just a plain artist. Uh, Unfortunately, the dinner party was made in 1976, which means that many important and influential women outside of that time could not be represented. And here are a couple women that I believe deserve a seat at the table of the dinner party. One being Joanne Rowling, also known by her pen name J.K. Rowling. She wrote the Harry Potter series, beginning in 1997 with the first book, which eventually became the most selling series of books of all time. She, in the span of writing her first book, she lost her mother, uh, she was divorced, and she had her first child, which left her in a unstable financial situation. She was living off of uh, unconventional unconventional methods. And due to her books that she wrote and eventually being published, her career and her book's popularity eventually skyrocketed, solidifying this rags to riches story, which made her an incredible inspiration for many people around the world, authors specifically, which I believe gives her a right at the table. Uh, Next would be Dolores O'Riordan. Uh, Kind of a long name. She was a very popular singer and songwriter during her time in the band The Cranberries. Uh, she originally comes from Ireland, and became popular internationally, especially in the United States during the 1990s, with several hits such as Zombie. Um, she left the band on a hiatus for 2003 until 2009, joining the band again while she had several years doing her own personal works. Um, she joined the band in 2009, but the band disbanded in 2019, a year after her death. Uh, they disbanded after they created an album using the voice recordings they already had of her, um, with the band disbanding in 2019. Uh, Her songs were very influential, and I believe that they have empowered many women all across the world, uh, giving her a definite right to be there at the dinner party. Next is Meryl Streep. She's a very prominent actress, has been since the late 1970s. She's been seen in countless films since. She's received multiple Academy Awards and one Golden Globe Award, alongside dozens of nominations for both categories. She's made many contributions alongside her career as an actress. She's donated millions of dollars to different institutions, one namely being the National Women's History Museum. She's shown her support for many women empowering movements. She labels herself specifically as a humanist instead of a feminist, uh, and that she supports gender equality. She's made several contributions to the world and as an actress. that I believe gives her the right to a seat. Next, which I mentioned earlier, is Kamala Harris, state attorney, senator, and vice president. Uh, Throughout her time as attorney general, she made several positive reforms, including many LGBT reforms and digital privacy reforms for large media companies. As a senator, she also continued her work uh, aiding marginalized and disadvantaged groups and helping represent them in government. Also showing opposition to many of President Trump's policies. Um, Doing countless things for her state and her country, I believe she deserves a right at the table. Next, surprisingly, is Judy Chicago herself. Aside from simply making the dinner party, which was renowned as an epic in feminist works, she's made several other works and has a lot of worldwide influence, even being named amongst the top 100 influential people by Time magazine. Granted, she would never put herself in her own piece, but I believe that she deserves a spot nonetheless. Overall, uh, the dinner party is a very influential piece on the world, and it still is today. And I believe that the what it represents is very important, as not only for just women but for all people around the world. Acknowledgement and recognition of what they do is very important. And I would like to thank you for your time.